What's up, everyone? We have a pretty exciting video today, I think. Even if you hate mods, these are some techniques that I think can completely change your relationship with how you kind of fiddle with mods on a daily basis. This is some techniques that I found over the past year, ever since the original Modding 101 guide I've done. Some cool benefits of following that guide, as well as just some basic techniques that really just kind of changed the game for me. I'm not trying to oversell it here, but this is stuff I do on a daily basis now, and it feels amazing. So yeah, first things first, if we're gonna hop right on into it, if you followed my Modding 101 guide and you've done the whole, the purge, and you lock the mods that you're keeping, then your sell screen is usually going to be empty until you farm some new mods. And so one side benefit of this now is, I just did a mod haul. First things first, before we're even looking, I know it's exciting, you want to go in and see, ooh, what do we farm? What do we get here? Chuck on only unassigns, turn sword off, and go digging through it, and all these other mods are here. No, because some of these mods, we all know, aren't going to be that great, right? You go into the sell screen first, and you activate the right side sets, or the right side slots. Go for the set that you know that you farmed. Keep in mind, like, maybe you got some hell sets or some random throwaways from Galactic Challenge or whatever. But yeah, you go to the set that you just farmed, and we're going to tick on any primary that we know that isn't going to matter for the set that we farmed. So offense, maybe, we'll take it as it comes. But basically all we're trying to do right now is trim out any primaries that we would run across and normally skip early. Okay, so we got a fairly lucky haul. This one has a speed, so maybe we keep it. Maybe just see if it rolls, I don't know. And then, yeah, offense is niche with a defense set, but this is actually looking pretty sick, right? We got the percent defense, we got the percent protection. This actually looks okay. So maybe I talk myself into keeping these two. And, obviously, with any other more focused sets as well, defense can be kind of flexible. If you're on, like, damage sets, then you can just really just, shotgun a whole lot of stuff at once. Just make sure, of course, that you're keeping on the right side sets. You don't want to filter by offense and then just hit every square at once. But yeah, just some really, really, really fantastic way to reduce clutter immediately. So I don't know if I actually sold that one or not. Yeah, just get on out immediately, and that way, now that we're in, we know that anything that's still here, aside from, like, this guy, but like health, defense, protection, this is all stuff I'm looking for right now. This is a good usage of our time. We don't want to waste too much extra time here where possible. So yeah, just helps you get to the all killer, no filler a lot sooner. Moving right along is actually a favorite technique that I've got now for, if you're just trying to build, let's say your fastest or your second fastest or even your third fastest, the scales down set in the game, right? And like, you could just have your collection memorized, I guess, sure. And, do the whole manual mod Jenga of, ooh, well, this is a 25 and we have a 27 up here. You click over and, well, this is a 25 and this is a 26. Or what you can do, and this works for any set, by the way. We'll do this for speed set, I guess, just as a demo example, is just grab, like, let's say we're building our first, like, our fastest in our collection, right? Let's just go to every single slot. Don't even think about it. Don't think about anything. We're just grabbing the best we've got. Okay. We've got 6. Obviously, we're not keeping 6, but what we do now is we turn our set filter off, and now we can start hunting around. So very quickly, very easily, we can see our fastest triangle isn't all that hot. This is a 10 speed difference. 26 versus 27, that's a 1 speed difference. 27 versus 26, also a 1 speed difference. 25 versus 27, we're +2. And then 25 versus 26, we're only a 1 speed difference. So my current max speed cap set, very easily, we can already find is going to be this. That's it. That's all you had to do to find it. And if you want to build your second fastest, we just do the same thing. Whatever, it's going to wreck my mods, but... So, this is actually out of date from the last time I did it, so we'll just save this right now. And now you can just have this handy for any event or anything when you just know I need to be fast right now. Obviously, the primaries and the sets are kind of whatever. Yeah, we just make a set. First fastest. Done. That's just there. You just have that now. And yeah, if we're doing that for second fastest characters suddenly, you just do the same thing. Okay. We know here. Obviously, we kind of have to tiptoe around what we did and didn't place eventually. But yeah, I mean, you guys get the idea, right? I'm not going to walk through all the exact same steps again, but yeah, very, very simple. And again, like, it doesn't even have to be speed sets, right? Crit damage as well. Like, anything that you just need to worry about, like a certain type of stat. This doesn't have to be a speed filter or a speed sword. This could be percent offense or anything. If you're just trying to build, like, what's my best set? Obviously, different stats, you got to pay attention to, like, you know, you wouldn't filter by percent offense for squares. They're all going to be the same. But, like, you hit these 4, or these 5, or whatever, just depending on what the stat it is. You all get the idea. It's all about the technique. And you can, the technique can be flexible based on what you're looking for. It's fine. All right, next up is actually fairly recent, but I'm very, very glad that I have started doing this. This is just ridiculous as a time saver. Maybe other people have been doing this for longer. Maybe I'm just barely catching up. It's actually the favoriting feature. So, you know, when we've got a new lock coming up at TW, at GAC, you obviously reach this point where you just need to make sure, are all of my characters modded or not? And, you know, especially now with Galactic Legends in the game, if we do the default sorting, which is by power, this is what you're going to see. And it kind of does its job for the most part. But then you start to hit the middle where you're still kind of looking for all of your main characters. Because the GP system, you know, if we go down in power, there's some very, very critical characters that just kind of fall down in priority. Grief Karga, easy example. Obviously, he's, you know, tier 11. IG11, he was Relic 0 a couple of days ago. You would also find him down here. So what does this mean? So by favoriting every single character that we know that we're going to use, this means that when we go into our mod collection, usually I do what I call like the runway walk, which is like you're checking to make sure that everyone looks good before you press that join button. We can see very quickly every single slot that we're seeing right now is a character we're going to use. So all this means now is we just have to look for holes. That's it. And obviously, you know, this won't necessarily tell you for sure that that character has the right mods on, but this is going to make sure that you know that they at least have mods on, and you can worry about the rest from there. So, you know, a few characters may be missing some stuff. We're kind of reaching towards the end here. And then, of course, you know, like Count Dooku is a character I'm using in 3v3, but not 5v5. Maybe a couple of considerations for, like, do you favorite niche characters? But, you know, other than that, just insanely good time saver now. It just helps you, like, you can just do this very, very quickly once you're practiced at it, and you just look for, again, holes, like, boom, resistance trooper, done. Keep going. Okay, authorable scout. We're not using Mon Mothma on 3v3, don't care. Veteran Han, not using it 3v3, don't care. Range trooper, same deal. That assassin kind of feels like we could do, you know, you get the idea. I'm not gonna like go through my entire collection. Yeah, highly recommend that. Obviously you could get a little bit, you know, the favoriting feature does have a purpose sometimes if you're like looking to gear a character, but for me personally, this is higher priority, and the quality of life I've gained from being able to do this just feels a whole lot better. I usually tend to, you know, look at the gear that I'm farming for anyway, so I don't really need to have that reference. Yeah, so moving right along to number 4, we have something that this isn't as groundbreaking, I would say, but just a personal observation I've made from watching other people play, is don't go too hard on filter. Especially specifically like primaries and secondaries here. Easy example, right? If you know that you're sorting by speed most of the time, you don't need to throw on a secondary filter, right? The only real time that you're doing this is if you're not clicking a slot, because obviously, if we don't filter it, then the arrows are just gonna take over and ruin everything. But most of the time, we're going kind of slot by slot, right? So it's a really small deal, but it's something that does add up a lot over time. Like if you're checking a square, right? You don't need to throw on an offense primary filter, right? It's just gonna be there. So yeah, just a very, very simple thing. Seems small, and definitely is kind of small, but really just will add up over time. So like, let's say we're on damage sets. We'll throw on maybe offense and crit chance, throw up by speed, and then just see what comes up. And also very much actually the opposite too, is sometimes it's better to just throw on a speed filter, because we know that we want to make sure that anything that's showing up is gonna kind of fit that speed if we're looking for it specifically. But there are a lot of characters now who care a lot more about their crit chance, or getting some really sick offense, getting some really sick health or protection. And you know that you don't want them to be getting speedless mods, but you don't care if it's in like the 5 to 15 range sometimes. Perfect example. We don't need to filter by percent offense. Percent offense is what we're looking for. Speed is what's worth filtering for. So yeah, very simple thing. Just make sure, don't go too crazy on like, oh, we're about to go click the triangle, so let's go crit damage primary. Like, let's be real here, right? If you're filtering by damage sets and you're looking at the triangles, most of the time, we're going to be seeing crit damage anyway, right? And just, ease out a little bit, chill out a little bit, let your collection do some of the work for you is essentially the takeaway. And yeah, last but not least is, let's say, we did kind of just mess up our roster a little bit, but let's say you've done most of the legwork on a remod. Most of your character, or all of your characters, have mods on now, but we still have some mods left over. The easiest way to check for this, I usually do, is check on only unassigned, check on speed. Yeah, we have this little routine I like to do, which is just basically start asking yourself, like, you look like, okay, do I need, like, is this a mod that I don't want to leave at a block? Well, this mod looks pretty sick. So if I see a mod that I actually do want to go out of my way to make sure someone has it, well, what we do then is we turn that set on, make note of the primary, or make note of the slot, so it's a circle, turn the set on, and now we're comparing everyone who has something on. So we can see characters above it. We have First Order Executioner, Django. Probably agree with most of those. Kiadimundi is a little bit lower. If we do a side-by-side comparison, we can see this is a pretty decent chunk of stats that Kiadimundi would have gone into that lock with. So this is just a really good way to make sure. And from there, like maybe we go over to Kiadimundi. We go toss this mod on him. He's going to have a better time this 3v3 season. And, you could, if you really wanted, go down the chain and make sure that, oh, Anakin could inherit Kiadimundi's old mod and so on. I don't tend to go that far. I just try to find, like, a happy compromise, like shift 1 or 2 or maybe 3 characters sometimes. And then that's all you really need to worry about, right? And then we just go back to the same thing. Only unassigned, speed, go to sort. Usually you can kind of just keep an eye out for 6E mods that are kind of left straggling. I could do the same thing with this, but like, health, it's an okay health, decent offense. It's kind of a weird stat mix. Here, health and protection. Very, very, very good example. Using these a lot. So we're going to go health set, protection, primary. Let's just see what pops up. I'm going to click on slots. Well, we need to click on the slot. I don't know why I said that. Right, but so here we go. Immediate examples, right? Mon Mothma. First Order Officer. Veers. Veers, sometimes you want slower. Bosk. Our Bosk absolutely would be interested in taking this circle. Very, very easy upgrade, right? You're just looking for characters below that mod, and you just shift them immediately to that slot. So we just go to Bosk. We'll revert that. I'm not going to give Getting. Apologize. I'm trying to break any hearts here, but it is meant for Yoda. Why am I so bad at finding Bosk here? All right. See, here's the mod. We just gave Bosk 5 extra speed. Wasn't too hard to find that either. Even if maybe you got a remod where everything is fine, but you've been using that loadout for a month, 2 months, 3 months. This is still a process that will, we're hopefully farming new mods. You will hopefully get new, better mods over time. They're not going to have a home yet. And this is a good way that you can go through and figure out. Oh, I think it was actually this mod. So. I think it was both. Either or. Points aside. Yeah, this is just a great way to either make sure that every mod that's worth using finds a home, or yeah, just keep on checking. You get those new mods over time. It's just useful. And yeah, all right, that'll be it for me. Hopefully this stuff is as crazy for you as it has ended up being for me. I'm not joking when I say that I do this every day now. Ever since most of the stuff I just like came across by accident, or like, the mass for building like your fastest or your best or your could very easily go like highest crit chance. There are a lot of characters who really want to be critting every single hit and also have god-awful crit chance sets. So going like crit damage set, down the line, grabbing all of your best crit chance everywhere, and then going to crit chance and seeing like where you need to start compromising if your crit chance are worse like mine are. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. Feel really, really good about it. Hopefully it feels good to you too. All right, that'll be it for me. Thanks for watching.